Welcome back as we take our expedition over to Future World West as we take a look at the living seas in Epcot. Go away, birds. It's not your pavilion yet. The Living Seas was long planned for the opening day of Epcot Center in 1982.
How would you like to venture into the living seas, yet stay safe and dry? In Sea Base Alpha, you'll do just that, and still be able to explore the wonders of our aquatic frontier. A futuristic research station beneath the waters of the largest saltwater tank environment in the world.
But on opening day, instead of a seas pavilion, all that existed was a large open area of land. The need for extended research and a serious educational tone delayed development of the area until 1984. As with most Future World pavilions, the look and location of the Living Seas was changed during the planning of the park until it eventually settled on its current location. One of the first concepts would have been incredibly hard to build with the late 1970s technology. This real research facility originally had plans for a much larger dark ride, which involved Poseidon taming a storm and inviting us to explore the underwater world in a bubble-shaped Omnimover vehicle, and was planned to take up over half of the pavilion and include many special effects such as a shark attack. The pavilion itself would contain a restaurant on the upper level and a viewing area of the tank. This early version was even shown in promotion videos for Epcot, yet in 1979, the pavilion's direction turned into a more scientific approach, and the theme as well as the design changed. First plans kept the glass roof of the pavilion until it was changed into a similar building that we have today. The plans for the dark ride were also cut back, removing a large portion of the building which would have housed it. The Living Seas idea was born with a sea-based theme. Again, the pavilion was pushed back from 1984 to 1986.
It was planned to open as part of the first phase in 1982, but as the Imagineers began the initial planning, they soon realized it was going to require a great deal more research and development than any other pavilion in the center.
It wasn't until March 1984 that construction even began on the pavilion. A year before opening, in January 1985, the sea tank animals were kept at a holding center off the Florida Keys for preparation and training. This was to be the first attraction in Epcot to feature live animals instead of animatronics, and Disney wanted to provide the best care and research for all its inhabitants. The pavilion eventually opened on January 15, 1984. It housed the largest saltwater tank in the world at its completion, holding 5.7 million US gallons of water. It was surpassed in 2005 by the Georgia Aquarium. The concept of the building was to take visitors under the ocean to the Sea Base Alpha. Originally, the pavilion featured 2 pre-show theaters, used in rotation to keep the queue lines to a minimum. The pre-show showed a movie called The Sea, which showed the formation of the oceans. Guests then took a hydrolator down to the Sea Base Alpha. They supposedly dove down beneath the surface, but they actually didn't go anywhere. The rock walls seen outside the windows were propelled upwards to create the illusion that you were actually travelling down, as well as the floor shaking. Guests then boarded a sea cab, and rather than the original planned dark ride, it was used more as a viewing of the aquarium, as they travelled along an underwater tunnel to Sea Base Alpha to get an up-close view of the marine life, before disembarking into the main exhibit area. The main exhibit would feature various multimedia displays guests could interact with and viewing areas. The area contained 6 distinct models as well as a sponsorship VIP lounge. The Living Seas was sponsored by United Technologies from its opening until 1998, and were also rumoured to be the reason the full dark ride did not exist due to them not wanting to fund it. In 1998, all sponsorship references were removed, as well as one of the 2 pre-show theatres. A walkway was put in its place, allowing guests to bypass the pre-show if they wanted to go directly to the ride. Like so many other pavilions, when the sponsor pulled out, the downturn of the area began. In October 2001, the sea cabs closed down. The queue was left intact, but the sea cab boarding area was boarded up, even though it could be seen from the ocean tank windows. Guests who went down in the hydrolators now walked along a corridor to Sea Base Alpha rather than riding through the sea cabs. Now the 2 options were viewing the pre-show or going directly to the hydrolators and walk into Sea Base Alpha. Soon after, the film Finding Nemo came out in 2003, the Living Seas became home to the little fish and his friends. A Nemo and Friends sculpture was added just outside the entrance, and most of the Living Seas merchandise and Seabase Alpha merchandise was replaced with Finding Nemo merchandise. As Nemo's popularity began to grow, 2 more exhibits were added. Turtle Talk with Crush was added in 2004 in the previously Model 1C, or the Earth Systems exhibit. Turtle Talk with Crush is a talk show type attraction and features an improvised real-time conversation with Crush from Finding Nemo. The digital version of Crush is operated by a cast member backstage, which is digitalized in real time. Using cameras in the theater, the actor can see and interact with the audience and uses a mix of semi-scripted and improvised responses to the guest questions and comments. In 2016, characters were added from the movie Finding Dory. Also added was a Bruce the Shark's playground. It's not very often, if ever, you see additions to a pavilion before it officially rebrands with a new theme. This marked the beginning of the changes, and on August 21st, 2005, the Living Seas closed to be transformed into the Seas with Nemo and Friends. Parts of the pavilion reopened in November 2005. The exit hydrolators had been removed and were replaced with glass doors that served as an exit and a temporary entrance to the pavilion. Seabase Alpha was rethemed to Finding Nemo, and the entire pre-show area was in the process of being rebuilt. Signage was replaced, and the scientific displays were replaced with ones themed to Finding Nemo. Throughout 2006, construction walls hid the pre-show area as it underwent construction, and the sea cabs were being rebuilt as the new Clammobile attraction. The Living Seas pre-show theatre, entrance hydrolators, holding areas, and the sea cabs queue was completely removed and replaced by a new theme queue area that took the place of the former Hydrolator story. Theatre 1 and Hydrolator 3 were replaced with a number of new dark ride sets. The former Sea Cabs ride was lengthened by about 280 feet, and the final section still took place inside the tank. This time, new projections were added to the tank scenes to show new scenes featuring Finding Nemo. The Sea Cabs were given a clamshell shape and renamed the Clammobiles. On October 10, 2006, the construction walls in front of the entrance to the Living Seas were removed. The temporary entrance was also removed, and the Seas with Nemo and Friends was dedicated on January 24, 2007. It was the first Epcot pavilion to be based on a Disney animated movie, and only the second Epcot attraction to do so.
Listen up. Okay.
Other areas inside the pavilion include the Coral Reef restaurant, which opened with the Living Seas in 1986. The restaurant features one entire wall that is 8 inches thick glass and provides a view into the aquarium. The pavilion has also offered many unique backstage and aquarium tours. Epcot's Dive Quest offers certified scuba divers the ability to experience a 40-minute underwater tour of the aquarium, and includes a backstage tour of the aquarium's workings. The Epcot Seas Aqua Tour, which debuted in 2002, where guests can swim in the aquarium with the assistance of a scuba-assisted snorkel system, and also the Dolphin In-Depth Tour, where you can interact with dolphins in waist-deep water. If the original full dark ride experience was built along with the Living Seas we did get, the area would have been one of the most detailed and interesting pavilions in the whole of Epcot. While it's likely we would still have a Nemo pavilion today, it may have come along with a fully immersive dark ride instead of the re-themed short sea cabs we have today. The original idea for the Seas was a full experience which got taken away piece by piece. The Nemo re-theme, though to be fair, it has brought a lot of children into the Seas to experience the underwater world, so mixed feelings come into play on this re-theme of one of the classic Epcot experiences. This likely marked the start of the decisions to bring in Disney characters to the park, which continues today. Did you experience the original Living Seas, and what are your memories of it? And what do you think of the current pavilion today? Be sure to let us know below. Thank you so much for joining us on our expedition through Epcot again. We still have quite a few stops left on our tour, so be sure to like and subscribe if you would like to join along, and we will see you in 2018.